So I am in Danes Dyke now. A lot of you have told me to come down here and investigate, and of course, those of you familiar with Paul Sinclair's work, the Truth Proof books and channel, he's done a lot of investigation, told a lot of stories down here. There's something going on. I'm really excited to be... Oh, excuse me, could you just get out of shot? I'm just filming.
Oh, I'll get out of shot then. Oh, it's James, isn't it?
Oh, Paul, what are you doing
Nice to see you, mate. Yeah, we never planned that, by the way. Yeah, so we're here.
So I'm going to put the camera on Paul. He's going to tell you a story of what happened on this spot.
Absolutely, I've brought James into this little bit of woodland. It's literally a spit of woodland that sits between two fields, probably no more than 100 yards wide. And I've been coming in here for years. It's interesting to watch it when winter just fades away and there's nothing. However, came in here about 10 years ago. Anybody familiar with YouTube channel Truth Proof will have heard this story. Walked down, I'd got a Canon camera, wife's behind me, and I picked the camera up, take a picture, and something on this shoulder pulled me backwards.
Wow.
And it was weird. I thought, have I snagged myself on a tree?
Yeah.
Looking round, you just think, yeah, chalk that one up. It's just an odd experience. I never even said anything to Mary. We carry on walking down there now, James. I don't mean I forgot about it, but it weren't at forefront of my mind. But 5-10 minutes later, taking a picture. Nothing paranormal, nothing at all. Whoa, I've gone backwards again. So now it's more than just coincidence. And it happened. Now I chewed it over and I spent loads of time trying to think of an analogy, think of something that it was similar to, because it were unusual. And you know when you put your car boot up, you're on an hatchback and you've got them little shockers, thought, what is that kind of feeling, if that makes sense? And I sort of stayed with that for a while, and then I realised, no, you know, you get two magnets and you put them together and you can feel that almost invisible pressure pushing apart. That's what it felt like. This little bit of wood, it's a nondescript bit of woodland. It's not ancient even, you know, I don't know what you'd call it. Oh, obviously it's been part of a bigger thing at one time.
Yes, yeah.
But, you know, people talk about the Fae, and it's not something that I'd really invested lots of time and energy on. But I've reason to believe that if the Fae are some earthbound elemental spirit that are tied to the land, and this is a... Danes Dyke, let's face it, I've just said this isn't an ancient woodland, but Danes Dyke's quite ancient. 3,500 year old earthwork, 2.5 miles long, cutting Flamborough Head off from the mainland. 5 miles it cuts off. What was it cutting it off for? Or what were the purpose? It's a massive feat when you think of them early people.
Yes.
Who would have probably struggled just to exist.
Yeah.
Yet they invested all this time building this 2.5 mile long earthwork for a reason. There's more to this little area than meets the eye. So, do you want to move on a bit?
Yeah, let's go further down, because people think it's Viking, isn't it? But it's actually earlier than that.
It's called Danes Dyke, hence the Vikings, and that's what they thought. But I don't know, I think it was late 1800s, a guy called Pitt Rivers. Sounds like Indiana Jones type guy, doesn't he? But it's a real guy. I think there's a Pitt Rivers museum.
Right.
So Pitt Rivers excavated the dike. He probably did it, I'm saying probably because I'm not certain if Canon Greenwell, or probably the bulk of the earthworks around East and North Yorkshire around that time, I think he were involved as well, but primarily it were Pitt Rivers. But getting to the point, he found antler tools, bone tools, flint, arrowheads. It predates the Vikings by thousands of years. So a really, really significant area, and just an incredible feat of not engineering as such. It's, you know, it's not a skyscraper, is it? But for early man, 3,500 years ago,
when you've got antlers as tools,
and these,
yeah,
it's an enormous feat
massive
of engineering. Well, we'll call it engineering.
So it must have held some deep significance.
I think so. And then you've got all these cryptid type stories that are coming out of the area, James. And I don't care whether people attach any value to some man saying that he's seen something covered in fur that walks on two legs, and they roll their eyes and think, that can't be possible. Let's not forget reports like that are all over the world. Every corner of the world people are reporting these things.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, we've had reports of something similar to what people would call a dog man, a werewolf around here. Danes Dyke's not big enough to contain that. So it's something from, in my opinion, the paranormal realm. But what's interesting, get to the point, Paul, is that there's not just one report.
Yeah.
I've collected 4 or 5 reports, and I'm not saying 4 or 5 loosely because one of them's just growling right on the shoulder.
Right.
Really intense growl. So that's frightening in itself. So if I've managed to collect 4 visuals from people unconnected to one another, how many more are out there? So you can roll your eyes if you're watching this and think, what a load of BS, or you can accept the fact, just play with the idea that things from the paranormal realm do exist. I mean,
and if there's one,
guys, but you know,
if there's one person coming forward, how many people
are saying
have
nothing?
seen it enough? And the other night I was out in Cloughton researching a dog, slightly different to a werewolf, but a dog that's on 2 legs with red eyes. Researching that, there's a story from Cloughton when they laid the railway track in Victorian times of this guy trash, but a bar guest running along the track there that was seen by people on the carriage.
It's fascinating.
Centuries.
Yeah, and the guy trash. You go to Gothland, you know that's where the story. Sorry about the flies. You go to Gothland, and you've got the stories of the guy trash.
Yeah.
You go to East Ayton, you've got the bar guest.
Yeah.
You go in the forests of North Yorkshire, you've got the bar guest. You know, some people, when we say bar guest, some people call it the bear guest.
Yes.
Because it's that big. The people that claim to have seen it, it resembles a bear in size.
Yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're seeing them centuries ago and still today.
Absolutely.
And we know people that won't come on camera, don't we? Who are very trusted.
And they've had strong and frightening visuals of this thing. So but let's face it, that you would be unnerved, and you know, some people might be listening to this and think, come on guys, you're slightly unhinged talking about such things. But I don't think so. Now I've spoke to so many people, really sincere, genuine people,
Professionals.
And I know I'm fighting with the idea and trying to defend these people, talking to you, James, on this camera. But I think we've got to do, because we're never going to get other people to come forward, while ever there's people who've never given it any thought, just putting it down. And, you know, we've just got to stand firm and say, look, there's a reality to this. Some of you guys listening to this, you might have seen a ghost, and there'll be other people that's never seen a ghost.
Yeah.
And, like, those people will be going, oh, I don't believe it. Seeing is believing. But don't write it off just because you've not seen it. I guess that's what I'm saying. Where should we go now?
Let's go and show me this other area, Paul.
Yeah, let's have a look.